good. Now, however, if you're using MCT oil for the first time, because it's concentrated, it's called the whole bark, what I grew up in Andros calling buffy or oily coconut. You don't want to consume that like how you would just do organic press coconut oil, which I would say a tablespoon of regular coconut oil. If you have it in the MCT form, the medium chain, which is concentrated, you want to start like a quarter to a half a teaspoon. That's important.
Right. And a lot of these oils you want to take at room temperature.
Yes.
You don't want to heat them.
Nope.
So a lot of these oils lose their potency when you heat them. So even if, but I can tell you what, it's better to saute some purple cabbage and some spinach and some red, green, and orange bell peppers and mushrooms in coconut oil rather than that other stuff.
And just drizzle it afterwards. Let me tell you, when it comes to the oils, even for people that say they don't like olive oil, there are so many oils that you can use, but there's always a trick because you don't want to add the heat to it. After you finish doing sauteing the cabbage in very little water, just before it's finished, when you turn off the heat, drizzle in the coconut oil, the avocado oil, the sunflower oil. Stay away from these oils that we know that are not good for you. You want to look at healthy fats and then toss your vegetables in it, and this is perfect in terms of getting in your good fats every day.
There was a research done recently on fried foods and how fried foods impact NCDs, diabetes, heart disease in particular. They said that fried foods is worse than regular, like what they call high glycemic index foods. The minute you fry protein or you fry potatoes, the damage to your body is almost tripled immediately.
Immediately. That's the
immediately.
response of.
Yes. So when you're talking about sitting down and eating French fries with deep fried chicken or deep fried conch or deep fried fish, you are just exasperating that situation.
Now, of course, you can have your fried fish at home, as we talked about last week, with your olive oil.
And
pan-fried with your olive oil.
But the thing is, if you have eaten 6 days healthy, you can eat that on the seventh day. But we're not talking about, listen now, we're talking about an individual who's trying to change. We're not talking about an individual who eats like that 2, 3, 4 times a day.
Yeah.
You can't afford to have a bad meal.
No, not at that moment.
And a lot of people don't know what a healthy day looks like. What is a healthy day?
Yeah.
I mean, Shanique, let me ask you a question. Let's talk about yesterday, because yesterday is finished.
Yes.
I consider you to be someone that's a great role model for healthy living. What was your day like yesterday? Give me your day. I want to know what you did as far as activity. I want to know what you ate. I want to know if you used any supplementation to help you get your body be successful.
So I wake up in the mornings and I do like a vitamin B12. This is about 6. With the vitamin B12, sometimes I take some supplements if I have the time. If not, I do it when I return. But let's say the supplements. I take supplements, drink my water, take supplements which include omega-3s, which include some other wonderful Renew for Women. These are some products.
So women health products.
Women health products, yes. Renew for Women, vitamin C and vitamin D. Just some nice mixes,
Those things, they help with your hormones. Help to balance your hormones.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then I go and I work out. This is every morning. I work out, come back, and I have me a shake. That's my breakfast.
A high protein,
wonderful
vitamins,
shake.
minerals, all that stuff in it.
Minerals, the chain acids, all the stuff y'all talk about with and what I also have maybe 3 Brazilian nuts with that.
Right.
And that's maybe. After that, and I take gut health stuff, everything.
Probiotics,
all this stuff, right? After that, I wait for my lunch. And yesterday, for example, I had me some steamed cabbage with what is that baked meat called again? I had some steamed cabbage with baked chicken and 2 pieces of.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, the national budget passed in the upper chamber of Parliament last evening and is on target for implementation in a matter of days. A decision has been made on the company that will take over the New Providence landfill. And the head of state celebrates a milestone today.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
The budget has now been passed and is expected to be ready for implementation on July 1st. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. 11 Free National Movement senators voted in favor of the 12% value-added tax increase as the 2018-2019 national budget communication was passed in the Senate on Monday evening. However, the 4 Progressive Liberal Party senators voted against the bill to amend the Value-Added Tax Act. Opposition Senate leader Senator Fred Mitchell says the government should focus on the country's development as there is no need for increased taxes.
We are going to oppose the tax. We're going to oppose the VAT. We're opposing that tax. We will support the government's spending authority, but we separate on this tax. There's no need to tax the Bahamian public. No need to tax the Bahamian public. The existing revenue is sufficient. That, I think, draws out the philosophical lines insofar as I can in this limited time that I have, and I think that makes the difference between us and the F&M. But this is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and it belongs to us all.
During the debate, Government Senate Leader, Attorney General Senator the Honorable Carl Bethel clarified some of the PLP's concerns relating to an opinion about oil transshipment companies and value-added tax. Bethel says when the opinion was written in 2017, it said that $5 million was owed to Borco and $1.3 million was owed to Stat Oil, but it is obliged that the money be refunded.
The impression that was sought to be created was that we were doing something that we were not legally obliged to do in favor of rich foreigners while increasing taxes on Bahamians. That is not so. In fact, the opinion is to the contrary, that we are obliged to refund this money to those companies as a matter of law. In part because the VAT Act in about 3 or 4 places makes it clear that transshipment services that are they're export-based are not vatable, and to make that pellucidly clear, after having passed the VAT Act, the PLP passed an amendment in 2015.
Dozens of young people assembled at the Doris Johnson Senior High School last evening to get some much-needed information on the 2018-2019 national budget now passed in Parliament and the increase in value-added tax set to begin on July 1st. Forum for the 2018-2019 national budget was hosted by the Torchbearers Association. On hand for the forum was Minister of Health Dr. the Honorable Dwayne Sands, Minister of Immigration Brent Simonet, and Minister of Youth Michael Pintard, and Pinewood MP Reuben Ramming. Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Peter Turnquest said he was pleased to see the amount of young people asking the right questions and making themselves more aware of how the budget will impact them.
The good points about this budget have been overshadowed by the talk about the increase in the value-added tax, which is only the funding arm that allows us to do some of the things that are going to provide real tangible benefit to these young people as well as to the wider community. As I said, I've always said, there is an element of shared sacrifice that is required in this budget. But if we do this right and we are faithful to the plan, we are going to see a real turnaround in our fiscal affairs of the country and give us the basis to grow on a much stronger path. The questions that have been put forth by these young people have been very engaging. They've been challenging, and I appreciate that because it means they're listening and they're willing to learn.
President of the Torchbearers Association, Khalil Bethel, says the forum gave the young adults a better understanding of the national budget.
I think it's always important to assist in the spreading of the truth and the real information as to what went into the budget. What we found is that a lot of people either had misinformation or half of the information. So we wanted to provide a forum where young people could come together and ask and get the water from the people who get the information from the people who put it together. So we found that we're happy with the turnout, and we think that it was a great conversation.
A few young Bahamians we spoke to also gave their personal views on the benefits of the Youth and Budget Forum.
Well, it's important to come to these kinds of forums to get the information because there's a lot of misinformation going on. You get a better understanding, and then if you have questions, you get a chance to ask them. You know, a lot of times we take the opinions of others and we run with that, but now you have the opportunity to actually get the answers to your questions.
Everything that I personally had questions about, the corporate tax, the vetting of the tax processes, and just overall the plan and how they plan to reduce the debt so that our future kids or the kids of this country won't have to suffer for the lack of fiscal responsibility.
This is a budget that will advance Bahamian development. We need to stop giving handouts and start giving hand-ups.
Minister of the Environment and Housing, the Honorable Romuald Ferreira, says a decision has been made on the company that will take over the management of the New Providence landfill, but it will be some time before that is made public. The landfill that has been plagued with fires has been without management since late 2017, when Renew Bahamas suspended its contract for the management and remediation of the facility. The Environment Minister revealed that 7 Bahamian companies, including Bahamas Waste, Eastern Waste Systems Limited, and Marine Contractors Incorporated, were among those shortlisted. Although too early to determine the cost of the new contract, Ferreira says the goal is to achieve generational change at the dump.
This has been a long time issue that's been going on at the New Providence Sanitary Landfill. So we want to see the deconstruction, remediation, and proper operation and management of the New Providence Sanitary Landfill to the extent that fire incidents minimize, if not at all.
Over the next 3 days, participants in the National Maritime Supply Chain Security Workshop will focus on ways to strengthen security in the maritime sector at the local and national levels. Representatives from the Organization of American States, Inter-American Committee Against Terrorism, Brian Sullivan, says a number of other topics will also be discussed.
This will be an interactive session that focuses on facilitating increased information sharing and analysis and interagency coordination with a view to identifying opportunities for enhancing related policies, procedures, and mechanisms at both the port and at national levels among key stakeholders within the Bahamas maritime industry.
And coming up, passport officials have advice for new passport holders this busy summer season. That story and more when First at 6 comes right back.
Together, we laugh more, we discover more, we dream more. Together, we connect more, we cheer more. Grab life by the bundle and fuel your passion for your favorite things. Enhance your entertainment experience with Flow Evo, internet and home phone in one simple package. The hotter the bundle, the more you get. Grab life by the bundle with BTC.
Are your monthly bills coming in on top of your holiday bills? It's time for a change. Bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. Move your high-rate loans and credit card balances from other banks to a low-rate consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank. Less stress, less to pay, each and every month. Plus, the chance to win $5,000. So make a change. Get a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank and pay less.
Here comes the lucky guy who won a date with Fanchon to his prom.
KFC got the big meal, freshly handmade every day for real.
Made fresh every day?
What I said, what you take? KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a real big deal. KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a
now that's a big deal.
Hey, it's a real big deal. Hey, it's a real big deal.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
If you're one of the many Bahamians who need a passport, the summer season is the passport office's busiest time of the year. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Rhoda Jackson, says the passport office issues roughly 150 to 200 passports per day and is encouraging Bahamians everywhere to come in and collect their passports.
We have over 1,200 passports that are waiting to be collected by Bahamians. The passport office has undertaken a number of public service awareness, information announcements to invite the general public to come and collect passports. Because what it means then that when we get applications for new passports and they're not collected, we get a buildup of passports. We find that you have persons who want to take a summer trip, persons going back to school, students going to school for the first time, and those who need to return and need to have maybe a new passport. So that would contribute to the peak season.
Operations Manager Allison Roll explained the importance and process of the mobile unit and how effective it has been throughout our family of islands.
When the unit travels to the family island, there would have been a list generated for those persons in advance who wish to apply. And the officers then will enroll those persons through the administrator's office, and those documents are, of course, produced in Nassau at our headquarters and then returned to the administrator's offices for issuance.
And police offering these tips for passport holders as authorities usually see an increase in stolen or lost passports during the summer season. Ensure that your passport is in a secured and safe place after use. Do not store passports in vehicles and handbags during daily commutes. Obtain copies of your passport in the event it is lost or stolen. Information contained in the passport, such as the serial number, will be required by police for tracing purposes. Never pass your passport to a friend or colleague to conduct business on your behalf. Now, when traveling, locate the safety deposit box in your hotel room and use it. Exuma police investigating 2 armed robberies that happened yesterday. Exuma police confirmed that the first incident occurred shortly after 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon when 2 men, one armed with a knife, entered a liquor store in Mount Thompson, held an employee at bay, and robbed the establishment of cash before fleeing on foot. Police say the second incident happened around the same time when 2 men, one armed with a knife, entered a convenience store in the same settlement of Mount Thompson, held an employee at bay, and robbed the store of cash before running from the store. An investigation into both incidents are underway. Exuma Pride was officially launched last week. The initiative is designed to clean up, restore, and sustain the natural indigenous beauty of Exuma and the Exuma Keys. The program was created by the Member of Parliament for Exuma and Ragged Island, Chester Cooper, who jump-started the moment, donating his entire parliamentary salary. Exuma Pride will include a board and a working budget focused on making Exuma the envy of the country by committing to specific targets, including sustaining and improving the way of life for the people of the Exumas. Cooper invited Environment Minister Ramal Ferreira to the launch of Exuma Pride and a tour of Exuma, so he would be more knowledgeable about the concerns and needs of Exumians. Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pinling celebrated her 86th birthday today with students of the Government High School class of 1968. The former high school students paid a courtesy call to Dame Marguerite at Government House this morning to celebrate their 50th anniversary. They presented the Governor General with a 50th anniversary memory book filled with photographs and profiles of former students. The Governor General was jovial as the former students reminisced about their life-changing experience at GHS. She reminisced of the academic excellence that the government high school was known for. We wish Her Excellency a very happy 86th birthday. And that's a look at stories making news right now. Stay tuned though, sports is up next with Jonathan Benson.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Rugs, carpet tiles, ceramic tiles, floor mats, even vinyl flooring. Find them all at Wright's Carpet Masters located on Bernard Road. Let them cater to your home or your office needs, and you can choose from a variety of carpets, floor mats, cashmere, oriental rugs, and area rugs. And if you can't come to us, we will bring the business to you, offering free estimates and deliveries to the Family Islands. Wright's Carpet Masters will get it right for you. Located on Bernard Road, telephone number 364-1260.
Welcome, madam, to the Royal Blue Tavern. My name is Leslie, and I will be taking exceptional care of you. Service has been a part of my life for a very long time. I get a sense of satisfaction knowing that my guests came, experienced Bahamian cuisine, fine service, just the sheer joy that they get from my service is enough satisfaction for me.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Our women's national basketball team has just finished up the first round of FIBA Caribbean Cup qualifiers, and they secured that third and final spot in the next round.
I'm very proud. We didn't get what we wanted, but it's better than nothing. At least we qualified. Some teams finished, but we get to keep moving.
It's summertime and the Jeff Rogers basketball camp is back at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. More than 150 youngsters, boys and girls, ranging from 5 and under to over 15 taking part. And so far so good, says instructor Quentin Demerit.
The kids are coming in willing to learn. We got a good group. Hopefully more kids coming at the end of the week.
What is being taught at these different levels?
Basketball is like the last thing we teach. It's basically about character, discipline, and how to get through with life activities. Monday, Wednesdays we do skill work. Tuesday, Thursday we do a team type drills.
St. Augustine's College guard Caroline Baptiste is at the camp working on her craft, while Savion Larry Moore is back home from Redemption Christian Academy in Boston, trying to make sure that hard work pays off in the long run.
We've been working on fundamentals and, just in growing and developing our skills. So it's been fun so far.
I'm just trying to get better offensively, defensively, everything, mental awareness, everything, offensive awareness, just get better at everything.
I came to, continue to develop my shooting skills and, work on defense because defense creates offense.
It's been great, yesterday was light, now today is something different. They're switching it up on me, so I got to adopt faster now.
After rain hampered the Bahamas Baseball Association's Andrew Rogers Junior Nationals this past weekend in Grand Bahama, it forced some divisions not to be able to complete their championship games, and the BBA, they held an emergency meeting last night, and it was decided the champions would be determined based on pool play, and in the event teams do not play each other, it went down to runs allowed. So here are the official results. 8 and under gold going to Freedom Farm, silver JBLN, bronze to Grand Bahama. JBLN took the 10 under gold, followed by Freedom Farm and Legacy. 12 and under winners, Freedom Farm, silver to JBLN and bronze to Grand Bahama. 16 under, Grand Bahama the gold, JBLN the silver, Freedom Farm the bronze. As for the two divisions that were completed, 14 under, Freedom Farm beating out Grand Bahama with JBLN taking the bronze. As for the 18 under, just two teams there, Grand Bahama winning over JBLN. On to the minor league baseball diamond now. Judge Rado Chisholm 1 for 4 runs scored last night as King County shut out Peoria 13-0. Chavez Fernandez pitching 3 innings, struck out 3, allowed no hits. He picked up the win as his Gulf Coast East Tigers defeated the West 7-6. Meantime, in the Arizona League, Trent DeVoe 1 for 4 in RBI, while Deshaun Knowles was hitless, going 0 for 3 as the Angels won 14-2 over the Indians. After being rained out last week, Thursday, the MPSA, they're hoping to get 2 games in tonight. Hennessy Panthers up first against the Johnson Lady Truckers. That will be followed by the CNS Hitmen and the BTC Elite Warriors. The Click Summer Bowling League completing its 3rd week last night at Mario's. The top male player, David Slatter of the Pocket Crushers, with a 258 high game and a huge 658 3-game set. Ricardo Roll of the Barians, they had a 588 set, while Greg Taylor of the Strike Force, he had a 215 game. The ladies were led again by Zania Johnson of the Brooklyn Strikers, who toppled the pins for a 207 game and a respectable 587 set. She was followed by Janice Hoyt of the Advocates, who struck for an outstanding 242 game and a 577 set. In the team standings, the Brooklyn Strikers are leading the way, followed by the Rum Runners, the Barians, and actually after that is the Pocket Crushers rounding out the top 4. And that is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are,
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
there's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Food. It is as essential as air is to breathe and water is to drink. Food is life. But where does our food come from? The Bahamas has more than 2,000 farmers, but it's hardly enough to keep up with our growing population. Or is it? We traveled the nation to find out the answers to the questions everyone is asking. Can we feed ourselves?
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, Just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
Did you bring the thing?
What thing?
Protection.
Come on, man. You really want to ruin the moment with that?
I actually think it will help the moment. No worries. Now we can continue. Next time, step your game up.
I just watched, stood there, remained silent, minded my own business. But I knew better. You just can't mind your own business. Because it is my business, if I see someone in an unsafe situation, I have to do something. Or else I'm just as guilty as the person who commits the crime. If you witness an act of sexual violence, it is your responsibility to do something about it. You can speak up, intervene, call the police. Silence is her approval. Don't blame her because of what she wore, how far things went, because of how much she had to drink. No means no, because real men don't show their strength by being violent.
Let's talk. Call the Bahamas Crisis Center's free 24-hour hotline at 328-0922. Sometimes a conversation can change a life.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, I'm on television. I don't have a TV in here. We have Wi-Fi though. We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and start over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS radio network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay.
In regional news tonight, the European Union Council yesterday imposed sanctions on 11 Venezuelan officials, including Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, banning them from traveling to the EU and freezing their assets. The decision comes on the heels of last month's elections, which the opposition boycotted and which resulted in Nicolas Maduro being elected to a second 6-year term in office. The Caribbean Court of Justice today ruled that there is nothing unconstitutional or unlawful about limiting a president in Guyana to 2 terms in office. The decision means that the former president who has already served 2 terms won't be able to run for president again, even if he wanted to. The historic ruling handed down earlier today in Trinidad. American Airlines has announced the addition of nonstop daily flights from Charlotte Douglas International Airport to Grantley Adams International Airport beginning December 19th. This announcement comes just weeks after the carrier announced its 3rd daily flight from Miami Airport.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, there's been no change in the tropics since last evening, meaning it remains quiet and heading into the 27th day of the tropical cyclone season. But at the home front, we have those upper level and mid-level troughs slowly moving their way out of the forecast area, at least temporarily. We anticipate that they will return sometime during Thursday when we'll see another round of heavy showers and thunderstorms. But until then, a little drier conditions. Outside of our studios, partly sunny skies, something we have not seen in quite a while during the evening hours. The high temperature 86 degrees. The winds are out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,019.4 millibars. That's 30.09 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned. More weather is still to come.
Thanks a lot, Basil. And that's a look at the Bahamas tonight, first at 6. But don't you move. News from the north is up next.
Officials of BTVI commending the government for providing free training. A local attorney weighing in on the Grand Bahama economy. And a new sub-program promoting critical thinking. We will tell you how.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the country's national budget passed in the Senate yesterday. Included in the budget is a plan by the government to provide free education to BTVI for all interested Bahamians. Tonight, the president of the institution says this move will certainly help to develop a more diverse skills bank. Italia Hall reports.
The nation's leader made the announcement during his budget presentation. Free training for Bahamians at the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute. But many are still asking who's eligible, while the president of BTVI, Dr. Robert Robinson, says they are still working on some of the details involved in the plan. However, he says those seeking to benefit must be full-time students, which is equivalent to 12 credits per semester. He says the overall intent is to bridge the skills gap.
From various employers and others, we've heard there is a skills gap. We've seen that ourselves. Basically, it'll be for people who meet the minimum requirements to come into BTVI because that's an accreditation issue for us. It will be available for existing students as well as new students. Hopefully, we can focus some of the funding on the trades specifically. But we also have funding available for other types of courses.
Robertson says those enrolled can receive certifications, diplomas, and associate degrees in a wide range of courses.
ICT, for example, information and communication technology, courses in massage therapy, for example, in Nassau. We do want to try to make it as widely available as well in the whole Bahamas, not just in Nassau and Freeport. So there will be some online courses that will assist. Some high school students will be able to take some bridging courses, dual enrollment courses into BTVI programs.
The free courses will begin in the fall, and all students must meet the attendance and GPA requirements to keep the scholarship.
We're busy now working on the details of the logistics. We need new instructors, for example. We need better physical plant, trying to make the IT system work better in both campuses. There's a lot to do between now and then, but the government's been very supportive in helping us to get that done.
But Dr. Robertson says their goal is to maintain the quality of education that they deliver.
It's of no value to do free education if you don't actually get something from it, and it is accredited. And so our programs are accredited. We have articulation agreements with schools in Canada, the United States, and in the United Kingdom. So a student could do a 2-year program with us and transfer that to one of these other, schools and institutions, which, given the free nature of the 2 years with us, makes that entire package extremely valuable. And so there's a lot of opportunity with respect to that.
The president says persons have been expressing major interest from across the country. And if you want more information, you can visit any of the BTVI locations. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
The National Training Agency also helping to prepare the country's future workforce. The NTA launching its 7th cohort on Grand Bahama. The young people will go through 4 weeks of training before going into the workplace for practical experience. Sabrina Brown has more.
The National Training Agency focuses on soft skills development and on-the-job training. Since the program was launched on Grand Bahama in 2014, more than 400 young people on the island have been trained by the NTA. Executive Director Gadville McDonald says more than 33% of those trainees are currently employed, and they expect that number to grow.
We are focused on ensuring that beginning at the end of this cohort, that you are prepared for the workplace, but not only are you prepared for the workplace, but at the end of this cohort, that we tweak that number up to at least 40. So, in other words, our objective is to make sure that at least 40% of you are employed.
As another group of young people engage in the comprehensive training, McDonald says their success in the program is up to them.
Whether you are part of that number is dependent upon you. It depends upon your participation. It depends upon your involvement. It depends upon your focus. It depends upon your commitment to the learning that you will obtain here over the next couple weeks. We focus on competency-based training. In other words, we don't just focus on the learning, but we focus on the application. In other words, we test your ability to be ready on day one.
As the government works to improve Grand Bahama's economy, McDonald says the NTA is mandated to prepare young people for opportunities to come.
Our focus is making sure that you're prepared for all of the opportunities that is going to emerge out of the effort from our government. At the National Training Agency, our mandate is to focus on what is the current opportunities available in the workplace, but also to focus on emerging opportunities. And we see a lot of emerging opportunities here in Grand Bahama. And as a result of that, we will be tweaking our program to make sure that you are prepared for those emerging opportunities.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Switching gears now, a local attorney is weighing in on the Grand Bahama community. Tonight, he's calling on the government as well as the Grand Bahama Port Authority to go the extra mile and make Grand Bahama grand again.
Attorney Osmond Johnson says if the government must raise VAT, then there should also be a corresponding increase in minimum wage. Johnson says with the current economic times, particularly in Grand Bahama, many are finding it hard to make ends meet.
Without a corresponding increase in the national minimum wage, the government is taking away yet more funds from an already impoverished local economy such as Grand Bahama and giving us absolutely nothing in return. And I simply don't see how a system like that can function effectively. And it doesn't.
But he says that Grand Bahama is in dire need of foreign direct investment and demands that the Grand Bahama Port Authority do what it must to ensure that this island succeeds.
We require $1 billion investment in Grand Bahama to really see some kind of recovery in this island. And under the current leadership that we've seen from the Grand Bahama Port Authority, that unfortunately has not been forthcoming. I think that's a fact that they themselves would admit. I think that there are changes that the Port Authority could implement in terms of the pricing structure as it regards doing business in Grand Bahama.
Johnson says economic recovery is needed right away, and all stakeholders must come together to rescue Grand Bahama from its economic woes.
I use the example of the Port Lakaya tourist zone as a classic example. The hotel strip which is there has been out of commission for nigh on 2 years now, and that would be a first step by the government to bring back some kind of economic regeneration for the island.
And he believes that there is another side to the downturn in the economy. This defense attorney says there is a noticeable upsurge in crime among the youth and believes that if citizens are to be taxed, funds should be used to assist with social programs.
That is the premise behind which we pay taxes in the first place, so that these funds can be expended not only to reduce the foreign debt that we have, but also to implement social programs and initiatives by the government using the funds that they generate from the local population.
Well, meantime, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance says that the government is doing its part to revive the Grand Bahama economy. He says while the turnaround isn't happening as fast as they would hope, He is assuring residents that Grand Bahama is priority. There's been many criticisms levied against the government, in particular here on Grand Bahama, where there are 5 sitting members of Parliament on the island, one of whom is the Deputy Prime Minister. The DPM and Minister of Finance, Peter Turnquest, sat down with our ZNS News team to discuss plans for this island. He says that they are seeing some signs of success.
I'm very proud of the Minister for Grand Bahama and his initiative with respect to the tech hub, because we're seeing now real traction in respect to that, and we'll open the GIBC Digital in I think this week. Tangible jobs, high quality, well-paid jobs. The project in West End is likewise scheduled to provide real, tangible, durable, sustainable jobs, as well as a tech feature.
The DPM says that other projects are also set to come on stream, and they are working diligently to close the Grand Lucayan deal. But when it comes to the increase in value-added tax, there are some residents who believe that given Grand Bahama state, this island should have been exempted.
Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of cherry-picking which island to give incentives to. You would appreciate that Freeport, and in fact the whole of Grand Bahama, already benefits from a favorable trade environment with respect to the customs duties exemptions as a result of the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement. It would be unfair to the rest of the Bahamas for Grand Bahama to be further exempted from its share of the burden that we're asking all Bahamians to bear.
Then there are those who claim that there is nothing in the 2018-2019 budget for Grand Bahama. But the DPM is adamant that all of the government's initiatives will benefit this island.
We're going to be setting up this small business development center with its main office in Nassau, but there will be a unit here to cater specifically to the needs of Grand Bahamians. We want people to get engaged in these small businesses, these small, medium-sized enterprises, and the government is setting aside 20% of its procurement budget to support that small, medium-sized sector. We want to make sure that we procure goods for Grand Bahama in Grand Bahama, which is something that was not done in the previous year.
The DPM is assuring residents that the government is focusing on Grand Bahama.
When you have properties like the Grand Lucayan and the Princess that have been icons in this community, trying to get them back up is just not an easy process. Every day we're working to ensure that the standard of life and the quality of life in Grand Bahama gets better, that we have the rebound that we want. We all live here. All of my investments are here, and so it is even in my personal interest if we wanted to go there to ensure that Grand Bahama survives and thrives.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
Junior, you know Dolly Madison having their 3-day independence sale from June 28th to June 30th?
Yeah, just hear that, Myrtle. Thank God for that. Right there before that July 1st.
Well, that means we can have to get down there and get everything what we need for that day come.
A bigger screen TV, Myrtle.
And the front room set.
Yeah, and a GE fridge and freezer.
And we need that whirlpool, the dryer, and the washer.
And Ace Hardware and everything we need.
You got your bedroom, you got your dining room, you got your...
that nursery thing there.
The plant nursery. Yeah, and outdoor furniture.
Ace paint.
You want paint too?
Radio Shack.
June 28th to June 30th. That means to say everybody gotta come on down.
Dolly Madison's pre-independence store-wide sale. It's June 28th to 30th.
Come on down now.
Before July 1st. You can win big with Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal. Not only will you get 2 delicious medium one-topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and juicy wings, and a refreshing 2-liter Coke, you get to enter to win a fabulous 7-day Caribbean cruise for 2 with Gateway Travel on Carnival Cruise Lines.
Mom and Dad can use it, and we got money.
Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal can make you a winner. Other prizes also available. Win big.
Nah, it's you who owe the bank plenty money for this house, you know, not me.
You got 30 days to make a payment in full or hand over the keys.
Every woman need a little thug in her life. Just stop it. Stop it. Get the hell away from me. Your own mother sacrificed everything.
I don't owe mommy nothing.
Oh, this must be that miserable sister you warned me about.
Shut the hell up.
I want you to get admitted in the hospital for a few days.
What your name is?
Dr. Chidambaram Krishnamurthy.
What? I don't even know we was talking about what church.
Stop lying. Do not force me to get loud and change.
Yes, mama. Come on, through.
Huh? You think you better than me?
You don't know me, and you don't know where the hell I'm from. Have you ever stopped to think about what I'm going through? I sacrificed everything.
You and your daughters could do the next best thing.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Die and go to hell.
Only what we do for Christ will last.
I'm sorry.
Covering the northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back, and now to this week's Generation Y report. Tonight we will hear from a young Bahamian whose formula of education and technology is proving to be a winning combination in business. Italia Hall explains.
所以我们是一个非常富有的一个国家，然后我们巴哈马不是巴拿马，巴哈马。
Matthew Arnett is originally from New Providence. Shortly after graduating from Kingsway Academy, he left the island to pursue his dreams. He had an opportunity to study in China, and he says he took full advantage of that opportunity. Today, Matthew is now the CEO of PO8 Pieces of 8, a marine archaeology project, and an NFT marketplace, which is all a part of the blockchain and cryptocurrency world. He says PO8 is the first cryptocurrency from the Bahamas.
When we decided to build out this project, everything that I had amassed or everything that I had accomplished or went through, be it good or bad, was all there for me for this particular project. So I've spent the last 2 months in Asia, in the Philippines, in Malaysia, in Vietnam, in Cambodia, in Japan, in Korea, raising capital, raising awareness, raising money for this particular project.
He says since he left home some 12 years ago, he has spent a lot of time traveling, which is how he learned.
When you spend money on travel, it's an investment. You educate yourself, you learn. I've been to many countries, I've been to many different forums, many meetups, many investor meetings, many pitch contests. And I think what I've gathered from all that is here in the Bahamas, we lack a state of education that is geared towards what's coming.
Matthew says this new technology is the future, and the recent blockchain conference was one step in educating Bahamians, but more must be done.
We have to put in place sort of a blockchain institution. You also have to do some activities, just sort of like town meetings, just to get the average person up to speed on what cryptocurrency is, what is blockchain, and how it could involve them.
And for young people, he says your dreams may scare you, but do not be afraid.
No matter what your dreams are, no matter what you want to do, whether you are here in the Bahamas or on the world stage, you can accomplish it, you can try it. Find a good mentor, find a good circle of encouragement, and let's just build.
In other news, the Bahamas Engineering Technology Advancement Program adding a sub-program called Bright Minds to their lineup this past school year. Organizers say the program helps to promote critical thinking, teaching students how to work as a team and allowing them to apply math and science concepts outside of the classroom. Well, that program wrapped up this past Saturday. Megan Shepard reports.
President and co-founder of Beta, Trinika Roll, says that they recognize that students have a passion for science and technology, and they wanted to implement a program that provides learning opportunities year-round. The Bright Minds program was held every Saturday during the previous school year, and Roll says it was a complete success.
Throughout the school year, we started out with about, I think, 2 students, literally, and then we kind of climbed up to about 12 or so. And so what you see here today is just a representation of some of the students that have been coming out. I think it's been truly successful because they've even told me, like, Mr. Roll, can you make this into a school? And I'm like, hopefully, we really want to do something like that. But literally, the students are so excited. They're so engaged. They're happy to come here every Saturdays. They literally tell me, can we stay for 2 more hours, 3 more hours? I'm like, I have a life too. But literally, they're enjoying it. They've told me they want to become mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, civil engineers. So they're really excited about engineering. And I'm just really grateful that we have this opportunity to provide this program to the students.
Participants Thomas Lockhart and Caden Lavardi are only 10 years old, and they are already planning future careers in engineering. They say they enjoyed the hands-on experience and being able to build cars.
I really enjoy coming here every Saturday, learning more than we actually do in school. And we all of us here, we are training to be engineers. So, and this is really nice and fun. And this year we got to travel to Pittsburgh to compete with that same car there. We raced it against other schools from the States, and it was really fun.
What I learned is that you're going to have to work in teams sometimes, so you have to be cooperative, and you have to try to make the best of what you have. A lot of hands-on experience, so you get to know how it feels to do all of these interesting things like soldering and screwing and stuff like that.
This summer, the camp will continue in the nation's capital.
The summer is going to be 2 weeks long. It's going to be from July 16th through the 28th. It's going to be held in the capital, but we are looking for students from Grand Bahama to come and support and be a part of the camp, and we also do provide sponsorship for that as well.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
And now it is time to ask the doctor.
Welcome to Ask the Doctor. Daryl from New Providence asks, I read recently that annual checkups are not helpful if you are healthy. Is this true? Daryl, thanks for an interesting question. There are healthcare theorists and planners who argue that there is not much evidence that an annual exam provides good enough health outcomes to justify the cost. But there are still many good reasons to visit your doctor for an annual checkup. Annual physical exams are a vital part of illness prevention and intervention if necessary. While many persons make sure that their children have routine doctor visits, as adults, too many of us neglect this important key to maintaining good physical health. Doctors can use an annual exam to keep abreast of signs and symptoms that could lead to a serious illness. During an exam, your doctor will ask you about your family history and note your vital signs, including your blood pressure, heart rate, respiration rate, and temperature. They can also note changes in your heart, lungs, eyes, skin, and extremities. As we mature and age, the annual exam can also become a useful screening opportunity for certain cancers, as well as serious conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. Avoiding an annual checkup can increase your risk of developing more serious medical conditions in the future. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away, a check on sports is up next.
Be a part of the Down Home experience at Southfest on Saturday, July 7th from 3 p.m. until at St. Vincent de Paul School Grounds in Hunters.
The Bahamas is celebrating 45 years of independence. Under the theme, Celebrate Bahamas, we've come this far by faith. The All Abaco Independence Committee presents the official launch July 6th at 7 p.m. at the Sandy Point Ballpark. The Ecumenical Church Service July 8th at 3 p.m. at Full Gospel Assembly in Treasure Key. The Flag Raising and Cultural Extravaganza July 9th at 8 p.m. at the BAIC Park in Marsh Harbor. Entertainment includes the Royal Bahamas Police Force Marching and Pop Band, the New Entry Band, the Saxman, fruits, junkanoo, and fireworks. Abaco, get ready to celebrate 45 years of independence.
Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered.
Topping sports, there is an American football camp taking place at the BMES playing field. 2 college coaches from Lane University and Edward Waters College are looking to recruit some of the local talent on Grand Bahama. Assistant coach Michael Grant from Edward Waters College in Jacksonville talked about the enthusiasm and passion that he has been noticing so far among the campers.
What I see in Bahamian kids is effort. I see that they utilize their effort. They have no quit in them, and they love the game of football. So I see them working as hard as all kids around the world that want to play American football.
Local camp director Stanford Duhaney focusing on the importance of attracting college coaches to the island so that local kids can be exposed to the physicality of the sport. He says there are many opportunities for Bahamians to earn scholarships.
It's a free camp for this year. We brought these coaches down and we want to just give the kids an opportunity to, we know that we have some talent and whatnot, and just learn a little bit more about the game. We're also offering a camp on Saturday where a lot of these kids that are playing like in that flag league and whatnot that still might be used to want to go to college, that they can come out from 9 to 1 on Saturday and these guys will take a look at them.
Well, summer break is officially here and summer camps throughout Grand Bahama are in motion. The Jack Hayward Soccer Camp is officially underway for boys and girls ages 7 through 16 at the Freeport Rugby and Football Club. Let's go to Sabrina Brown.
They are hoping to inspire more players to get involved in the sport, as it is a great opportunity to gain scholarships and further one's education. Each year, the camp invites coaches from the United States to help soccer players from the Rugby and Football Club, as well as other interested players to improve their skills. Coach Development Officer at Northumbria University, Robbie Pringle, says it's a great environment for kids to come and enjoy themselves during the summer.
So the kids come down early in the morning. We run football sessions through to lunchtime. They get the lunch here, which the rugby club provide, and then they play some games in the afternoon. So it's a good, fun environment for them to make new friends and enjoy the day that they have down here.
Coach Pringle adds that the coaching offered to the campers by his team is one that focuses on development and fun.
We try and keep it as fun-based games rather than drills, enjoying themselves, lots of touches of the football, develop them across not just around the football side of things but socially and physically, getting them moving quite a lot. So you can expect to see, if you came down for a full day, you'd see them playing lots of games of football, lots of opposition, lots of direction, and most important thing, lots of smiles on faces.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Total Sports.
And that's a look at sports on this Tuesday.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Mo Davis Beauty Zone. Be beautiful, be you. Located at #1 Britannia Mini Mall, Caravel Beach.
Tired of the endless bank fees and long lines? The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union is the solution to making your money work for you by providing you with free financial counseling, higher interest on savings plans, and lower interest rates on loans. Savings products such as Christmas and Vacation Club, fixed deposits, and annuity savings allow our members to prepare for today and tomorrow without all of the hassle. Join satisfied Bahamians who left their banking frustrations behind. Open an account with GBCCU 352-4139.
Influenza or the flu can be serious.
causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
More on Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
And that's a look at stories making news here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shashina Roll-Parkinson. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Right now. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
A new management company is set to begin operations at the New Providence Landfill soon. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. Minister of the Environment, the Honorable Ramon Ferreira, announced today that the New Providence Landfill will soon have a new manager as government looks to better address the myriad of problems plaguing that facility. Minister Ferreira gave an update on the process of finding the right company to do the job. Cleopatra Murphy tells us tonight that the search began with 18 companies.
Minister of Environment and Housing, the Honorable Ramon Ferreira, says a decision has been made on the company that will take over the management of the New Providence Sanitary Landfill, but it will be some time before that is made public.
We're just concluding the final paperwork, and then thereafter we'll pursue the contractual agreement and announce the name of the individual and the entity. I'm sorry, not the individual.
Ferreira says he was not responsible for the assessment.
We had a team, and the team did an assessment on a number of parameters in relation to the landfill.
The city dump that has been plagued with fires has been without management since late 2017, when Renew Bahamas suspended its contract for the management and remediation of the dump. 7 Bahamian companies, including Bahamas Waste, Eastern Waste Systems Limited, and Marine Contractors Incorporated, were among those shortlisted. Although too early to determine the cost of the new contract, Ferreira says the goal is to achieve generational change at the dump.
This has been a long time issue that's been going on at the New Providence Sanitary Landfill. So we want to see the deconstruction, remediation, and proper operation and management of the New Providence Sanitary Landfill to the extent that fire incidents minimize, if not at all.
The landfill burned uncontrollably more than 3 weeks after a major blaze began on March 5, 2017. That was followed by another on January 27th. The Minister of Environment says recycling will also be a part of what is done by the new company.
Recycling is a revenue stream. So is waste to energy. So is the actual management of the tipping fees of the landfill. So any reasonable company is not going to want to diminish any kind of revenue stream, but enhance them.
Ferreira says under the new agreement, the yet-to-be-named landfill management company will be given more than the 5 years allotted to Renew Bahamas to achieve its goals.
What you need is sufficient monies to recoup or recover your capital expenditure. And so those are functions of financial projections versus just saying that you need 5 years or 10 years. They have to be justified by actual budgetary figures.
The Minister of Environment previously stated it would cost an estimated $25 million to remediate the landfill. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
The Ministry of the Environment will be presenting a white paper to Cabinet on aragonite, following a study that the Minister of the Environment, the Honorable Ramon Ferreira, says is currently being conducted to determine its economic value and sustainability. He says the Bahamas is the only place found with aragonite deposits. And while it's used as a source of calcium carbonate, there are other sources, including marble, chalk, and limestone. The Environment Minister says, depending on where aragonite is found, it can take as much as 100 to 2,000 years for just one grain to form. Minister Ferreira says the ministry will put forth recommendations for the sustainable use of aragonite, particularly because it's not sustainable over a human lifetime.
We have to be very careful about how we manage it, and we also have to be very careful about the policies that we put in place for the extraction and utilization of it. So we're not saying that it can't be utilized. We're saying that we have to make sure that the policies are in place such that, because there's very little wiggle room. So even though it's found throughout the Bahamas, even though there are large deposits of them, we still need to understand, in terms of the total sand budget, what's happening with this, how it's being formed, where it's going. What we can see from the studies thus far is that the Bahamas can definitely earn more royalties, but it will not make everybody a billionaire.
Now to news from Parliament. 11 Free National Movement senators voted in favor of the 12% value-added tax increase as the 2018-2019 budget passed in the upper chamber last evening. The 4 Progressive Liberal Party senators voted against the bill to amend the Value-Added Tax Act. Opposition Senate Leader Senator Fred Mitchell says government should focus on the country's development as there is no need for increased taxes.
We are going to oppose the tax. We're going to oppose the VAT. We're opposing that tax. We will support the government's spending authority, but we separate on this tax. There's no need to tax the Bahamian public. No need to tax the Bahamian public. The existing revenue is sufficient. That, I think, draws out the philosophical lines insofar as I can in this limited time that I have, and I think that makes the difference between us and the FNM. But this is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and it belongs to us all.
During the debate, Government Senate Leader, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Carl Bethel, clarified some of the Progressive Liberal Party's concerns relating to an opinion about oil transshipment companies as well as value-added tax. Senator Bethel says when the opinion was written in 2017, it said that $5 million was owed to Borco and $1.3 million was owed to Stat Oil, both Grand Bahama-based oil companies. But it's obliged that the money be refunded.
The impression that was sought to be created was that we were doing something that we were not legally obliged to do in favor of rich foreigners while increasing taxes on Bahamians. That is not so. In fact, the opinion is to the contrary, that we are obliged to refund this money to those companies as a matter of law. In part, because the VAT Act in about 3 or 4 places makes it clear that transshipment services that are they're export-based are not vatable, and to make that pellucidly clear, after having passed the VAT Act, the PLP passed an amendment in 2015.
Minister of Labor, Senator the Honorable Dion Folk, says Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis made the right decision to terminate the senior government positions held by former Parliamentary Secretaries Travis Robinson and Vaughn Miller and former Chairman of the Bahamas Hotel Corporation Frederick McAlpine after they, along with Member of Parliament for Centerville Reese Chipman, voted with 3 opposition members in the House of Assembly against a value-added tax increase. Minister Folk says the vote on the budget is the most crucial one. And in this instance, members of the government should vote in favor of it.
If the budget does not pass, the government shuts down. The schools close, the hospitals close, everything shuts down. So for every member of parliament, whether he is in cabinet, whether he's a junior minister, as a parliamentary secretary is, who took the same oath that I did, whether it's a backbencher, it's important to the governing party of the day to have its budget pass. Because if it doesn't pass, the whole country comes to a standstill, and we cannot even pay civil servants. So the tradition was breached by those gentlemen not voting for the budget, and that was the consequence.
Also making national news this Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis is back in the capital tonight after conducting 4 town meetings in Central and South Andros on Monday. He met with many residents while moving from Central to the South. Our Jimmy Swain is in Andros and reports on the Prime Minister's town meeting last night.
Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis and a small delegation in North Andros Monday night explaining to residents what went into the decision to move value-added tax from 7.5% to 12%, a move that will be effective come July 1st.
We looked at 15%. That was not an option. 12% meant that we still would have to borrow. However, that's manageable.
The Prime Minister explains that taking no action would have resulted in pressure from external monitoring agencies.
They may tell you that you must cut your subsidy to water and sewage, which means your water bill goes up. They may also tell you that a part of this cut, you must cut the subsidy to other programs like the mail vote. Therefore, you have no more mail vote. So would you prefer to determine and define your own destiny, or would you prefer a foreign entity come in and do that? Which would you prefer? You want to make your own decision. And to make our own decision, it meant that we had to look at the 12.
But the Prime Minister explained some of the benefits that residents can expect.
Starting September of this year, BTVI will be free to Bahamians. And therefore, in addition to free education at the University of Bahamas, we will give each child $500 per month to assist them with living accommodation, just as we give you land at rock bottom prices to build your homes. We will do the same thing for you to build bed and breakfast hotel.
These residents were pleased with what they heard.
Land, first here in Andros, the big thing is land. We have to go through a lot to get our land.
When it comes down to electrical and you have some breadbasket items, so persons would benefit. You might lose in some area, but you gain in a bigger area.
We now have a better understanding the reasons behind the increase and also the benefits that we're getting from the budget as a whole.
Jimmy Swain, ZNS Network News.
Millions of dollars being spent to improve the efficiency of the Department of Immigration as government moves to process and notify applicants seeking citizenship and work permits here in the Bahamas in a more timely manner. Speaking to reporters before the weekly cabinet meeting, the Minister of Immigration explained what's being done. Here again is Cleopatra Murphy.
The Department of Immigration is set to undergo a modernization exercise that will assist officials in catching up on what Minister of Immigration, the Honorable Brent Simonet, says is a serious backlog of permits and citizenships.
The computers were on the dock this weekend. I hope they've been cleared yesterday. Some of them are at immigration. We're introducing a new immigration system similar to the passport office. It was done by Canadian Banknote at the initial cost of $11.3 million. The cost now is at $18.6 million. We hope to roll that out on the 28th, which is this week.
Speaking more to the backlog, Minister Simonet says there are about 5 filing cabinets of applications of persons who have had their work permits or citizenships approved.
We started to contact a number of them. I have an employee specifically assigned to calling them. We're finding a large number of them have left the country. They're no longer here. Their cell numbers have changed, or they're just simply not, we cannot contact them. So when we talk about the backlog at immigration, we're working on it, but here's a good example of possibly those people have gone to Miami or whatever.
The Minister of Immigration says the department is also still clearing the applications of 19 people impacted by the mud fire in Abaco in late January. He says government is also looking to better address the issue of Haitian nationals in need of work permits following the recent League of Haitian Pastors Convention that he and Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis attended.
We're going to formalize what I talked about there, which is asking those persons who have outstanding matters before immigration to speak to their pastor. The pastor will speak to the Haitian League, and the Haitian League will email me the names, addresses, and a work permit or file numbers so we can regularize those issues.
The Minister of Immigration says the Department of Immigration hopes to ultimately be totally paperless to eliminate the issue of locating files. He says the department's new system will also be linked to the Treasury Department's system. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Cleopatra. Still to come, it's a busy time at the passport office, but hundreds of passports are ready to be collected. And it's International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. See how it was commemorated here in the Bahamas. We're just getting started here on the National Report. We've got more news on the next side of the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell, fueling journeys that matter. Summer promotion.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
Here comes the lucky guy who won a date with Fanchon to his prom.
KFC got the big deal meal, freshly handmade every day for real.
Made fresh every day?
What I said, what you take? KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a real big deal. KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a real
now that's a big deal.
Hey, it's a real big deal. Hey, it's a real big deal.
There's nothing as powerful as knowing where you belong. No more waiting. It's time to come home. Come home to friendly smiles. Come home to convenience. Come home to more interest on savings and lower fees. Come home to our bank and your bank. Come home to Bank of the Bahamas, your bank of solutions.
Mario thought he could have his cake and eat it too. He almost found out the hard way that if you don't insure your home for the full replacement value, when it comes time to make a claim, you won't get the full payout. It's called the condition of average. If your $200,000 home is destroyed by a hurricane, but you only insured it for $100,000, half the value, you'll only get half of that $100,000 payout. Actually, less than that, because there's also a deductible which will be deducted from your payout. Check your home insurance policy for the condition of average clause and ask your insurance agent or broker how condition of average would affect you. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
Know how you can save more money, save more time, earn more interest, and have more for the future? The solution is an account from Fidelity Bank. With our ASU Savings, fixed deposits, and preferred client program, you can get free financial advice from our team of experts, competitive interest rates, and free online banking for simple and safe banking anytime, anywhere. Open a fixed deposit or savings account with Fidelity by visiting a branch today. Get into the rhythm of saving with Fidelity. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Well, we're the Nutty Bavarian Bahamas. We specialize in glazed nuts, being cashews, almonds, pecans, and peanuts. Well, we're offering a 3-tier savings deal. It's 5% for the silver, 15% for the gold, and 25% for platinum members. You would call us at the number 698-2126, let us know what tier you're on, and then we'll work from there. So the discount will be applied to whatever you purchase from us. Normally the delivery time is within a day. You call your order in and then it's delivered the next day. But we wanted to align ourselves with a company that is as innovative as Alive. You know, they're a young upstart company, and we just felt that we would want to be on board with a company that's doing big things in the Bahamas.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Over the next 3 days, participants in the National Maritime Supply Chain Security Workshop will focus on ways to strengthen security in the maritime sector. Brian Sullivan of the Organization of American States Inter-American Committee Against Terrorism says a number of other topics will also be addressed.
We're going to look at a few and dig in on a few key areas over the next 3 days: national maritime security and strategy development, maritime cybersecurity, the maritime component of supply chain security, maritime domain awareness, taking stock of your capacity building needs and opportunities. We'll have some valuable perspective from our team of experts who, between them, bring a wealth of experience working in the Caribbean and around the world. They'll be able to share lessons learned and good practices. But that will inform what the core of this meeting will be about, which is dialogue about areas for possible improvement.
Minister of Transport and Local Government, the Honorable Frankie Campbell, said it's important that the country's maritime security remains at the highest level at all times in order to properly secure the country's borders.
This will be an interactive session that focuses on facilitating increased information sharing and analysis and interagency coordination with a view to identifying opportunities for enhancing related policies, procedures, and mechanisms at both the port and national levels among key stakeholders within the Bahamas maritime industry.
The Bahamas joining countries around the world today in commemorating International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. The initiative strengthens support for the prevention of drug abuse, and to mark the occasion, the Ministry of National Security mounted an exhibition and held a ceremony at the Mall at Marathon this morning. Director of the National Anti-Drug Secretariat, Terrence Fountain, says marking the day also raises awareness to the many issues associated with drug abuse and illegal drug trafficking.
There still is a major issue with respect to drugs and drugs abuse, and that countries need to not let their guards down, but do all they can to ensure that whatever can be done to address this issue is actually being done. And the future still belongs to persons like me and yourself, but the future primarily belongs to our young persons. We have to do all that we possibly can to make sure that these persons have the opportunity to grow up in the Bahamas that is healthy, grow up in the Bahamas that is safe, and to be able to contribute as citizens during their adulthood, and look back and be proud of the decisions that they would have made.
Well, if you're one of the many Bahamians who may need a new passport soon, the summer season is the passport office's busiest time of the year. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Rhoda Jackson, says the passport office issues roughly 150 to 200 passports a day, and they're encouraging Bahamians everywhere to come in and collect their passports.
We have over 1,200 passports that are waiting to be collected by Bahamians. The passport office has undertaken a number of public service awareness, information announcements to invite the general public to come and collect passports, because what it means then that when we get applications for new passports and they're not collected, we get a buildup of passports. We find that you have persons who want to take a summer trip, persons going back to school, students going to school for the first time, and those who need to return and need to have maybe a new passport. So that would contribute to the peak season.
Operations Manager Allison Roll talked about the importance and process of the mobile unit and how effective it has been throughout the Family Islands.
When the unit travels to the Family Island, there would have been
a list generated for those persons in advance who wish to apply. And the officers then will enroll those persons through the administrator's office, and those documents are, of course, produced in Nassau at our headquarters and then returned to the administrator's offices for issuance.
The Free National Movement's Torchbearers Youth Association hosted an information seminar at the Doris Johnson Senior High School on Prince Charles Drive last night to learn more about the 2018-2019 national budget that passed in Parliament and the increase in value-added tax set to begin July 1st. Attending the forum was Minister of Health, Dr. the Honorable Dwayne Sands, Minister of Immigration, the Honorable Brent Simonet, and the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Michael Pintard, as well as the Member of Parliament for Pinewood, Reuben Ramming. Minister of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, said he was pleased to see the amount of young people asking the right questions and making themselves more aware of how the budget will impact them.
The good points about this budget have been overshadowed by the talk about the increase in the value-added tax, which is only the funding arm that allows us to do some of the things that are going to provide real tangible benefit to these young people as well as to the wider community. As I said, I've always said, there is an element of shared sacrifice that is required in this budget. But if we do this right and we are faithful to the plan, we're going to see a real turnaround in our fiscal affairs of the country and give us the basis to grow on a much stronger path. The questions that have been put forth by these young people have been very engaging. They've been challenging, and I appreciate that because it means they're listening and they're willing to learn.
Torchbearers Association President Carlisle Bethel says the forum gave the young adults a better understanding of the new fiscal budget.
I think it's always important to assist in the spreading of the truth and the real information and as to what went into the budget. What we found is that a lot of people either had misinformation or half of the information. So we wanted to provide a forum where young people could come together and ask and get the water from the people who get the information from the people who put it together. So we found that we're happy with the turnout and we think that it was a great conversation.
Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pindling celebrated her 86th birthday today with students of the Government High School class of 1968. The former high school students paid a courtesy call to Dame Marguerite at Government House this morning to celebrate their 50th anniversary. They presented the Governor General with a 50th anniversary memory book filled with photographs and profiles of the former students. The Governor General was jovial as the former students reminisced about their life-changing experiences at GHS, while the Governor General reminisced of the academic excellence that Government High School has always been known for. All of us here at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas wish Her Excellency a very happy 86th birthday.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly. Bahamas First Holdings Limited has expanded its footprint in the region with the opening of a new corporate headquarters for its subsidiary Cayman First Insurance. After 34 years of operation in the Cayman Islands, Cayman First Insurance recently celebrated the grand opening of the Cayman First Center located in Grand Cayman. The company's group president and CEO Patrick Ward, board members, management, and employees were on hand to witness this milestone. The company, which was launched in March 1984, was acquired by Bahamas First Holdings Limited in 2010 and today is a significant part of the Bahamas First Group. In other business news, a luxury real estate broker and founder of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, MCR Bahamas Group, Mario Carey, is proposing a multi-hundred-acre site in the heart of inland New Providence be set aside for the Bahamas and Caribbean Disaster Relief Recovery Headquarters. It's a concept he believes could save lives and island nations millions in disaster relief recovery. And in international news, U.S. President Donald Trump's trade policy is backfiring firing on Harley Davidson. The company is shifting some production of motorcycles for European customers out of the United States to avoid EU retaliatory tariffs. Harley Davidson officials said it stood to lose as much as $100 million a year. The EU began imposing tariffs on Friday on $3.2 billion worth of American goods, including motorcycles. They are reportedly a response to the Trump administration's tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from Europe. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock, and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
Take a dash of location, 2 scoops of service, 3 helpings of savings, mix well and serve. That's super value in quality supermarkets. Hunt's barbecue sauces, 18-ounce size, 2 for $3. Center cut pork chops, $2.69 per pound. Vitamalt tonic, case price, $23.76. 12-ounce size, 99 cents. Shoppers Value foam plates, 30 count, $1.39. Limes, 5 for $1. Carolina Pride ham, 10-ounce size, $2.99. Every week is special at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
Food, drinks was all a part of Summer Vacation 2018 that was held at the Bahamas National Trust this past weekend. We can tell you that it launched the summer season. Our Siaska Adderley was also there.
People ask us all of the time, why don't you do other events like Wine and Art or Jollification in the summer? Well, here it is.
Officials from the Bahamas National Trust and the Bahamas Telecommunications Company teaming up to give you all things summer during its Summerfication event held at its Village Road retreat over the weekend. Beyond the fun and frolic of the festivities, patrons were able to support local businesses and a major environmental cause.
It's a true national park, and you can't run it without money. You can't run it without the support that it needs. So this event is going to help us raise the funds to help to run this place.
We are also using this as an avenue too to develop the entrepreneurial spirit. So you see, individuals here, they're selling their food their beverages, their crafts. We're going to have some of our local artisans who are ambassadors. They're going to be performing here as well.
From food to drinks, crafts, artwork, and entertainment, you name it, summer vacation had it. Even gator tacos. Yes, you heard me right. I tried gator tacos at the Val Monkey Foot stall.
National Trust has always been our ground where we always bring new things. We've been with them for a few years, and it's their first time doing this, and so far it's been really good because there's a lot of people here.
Priya Russell Ellis, who owns the Bimini Bay's Touch of the Island Spa, was out selling her handmade Bimini Bliss products.
They're a combination of natural essential oils, body butters. I actually do soaps, candles, bath bombs. I have all natural honey, cane sugar. I get rock salt, important from Inagua. I add aromatherapy. So anything that can improve your body and give you a sense of luxury while you're doing it, that's what I do.
So with the first summer vacation event now in the history books, what's next?
It's a fun event, and people who are here are really enjoying it. So we believe this is going to be become a mammoth summer event for us.
And organizers hope to see you at the next one. Sieska Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Sieska. I'll try to be there next year as well. In fact, all of us will try to be there next year. Family Island weather and sports up next. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for staying with us.
We are at beautiful Highborn Key in the Exuma Chains for this year's Bahamas Poker Run. It's an event that seeks to raise money for the Bahamas National Trust and the Exuma Chains Land, Sea and Park. And as Eric Carey, the executive director of the Bahamas National Trust, explains, this event is one of the most anticipated of the year. So we've been able to track down the executive chairman of the Bahamas National Trust, Eric Carey. Mr. Carey, this is a stunning event, and it's for a worthy cause.
Absolutely. I want to really thank the organizers of the Poker Run 2018. Once again, the Bahamas National Trust, specifically the Exuma Keys Land and Sea Park, is a beneficiary. You know, for us, it's really important that Bahamians come and enjoy their park. So that's actually the greatest benefit to us.
And what are you looking forward to?
I think I'm most looking forward to the run to the different stops. It's always fun for all the boats to ride close together, and everyone's trying to test out their engines. So I'm looking forward to moving to the next stop and seeing how all the boats move together.
Go ahead and let everybody know that it's BTC every day.
BTC every day!
It takes about $500,000 a year to preserve our national parks, and so you get the understanding of the importance of an event such as this. It is more than just having fun. It is about preserving our rich heritage. I'm Corbell Piper, and we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day. Every day is a new day.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas, And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
It's time now for a check on the weather in your part of the Bahamas, and Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live in studio with all the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil. Is it still raining?
No, we got a slight break from the rains. We'll have the little odd pop-up here and there, but a break from those heavy downpours at least into Thursday. But right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family Violence, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 84 showing up in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Greenville, Key and Abaco, also Marsh Abaco at 84 degrees. 82 in the Berry Islands, 84 in Bimini, in Harbor Island, 82 here in the capital, 84 degrees. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 83, 83 also in Otterstown, Cat Island. Staniel Key, 84, 84 in Kemps Bay, South Andros, Fresh Creek and Central Andros at 83 degrees. 83 is also in San Salvador and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma at 85. 82 in Betsy Bay, Mayaguana, 83 in Crooked Island, Clarencetown, Long Island as well, and that takes us right into Ragged Island, Acklands 82 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Setter. In the northwestern islands, light and variable winds can be expected with flat seas. Your high tide took place already at 6:48 this evening. For the central Bahamas, easterly winds at 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights 3 to 5 feet over the ocean. And for the southeast Bahamas, winds southeast at 50 to 20 knots. Caution flags are up. The wave heights 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. Taking you into tomorrow for the northwestern islands, light and variable winds once again with flat seas. High tide 7:02 in the morning, low tide at 1:04 in the afternoon. For the central islands, southeast at 10 to 15, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And for the southeast Bahamas, that southeast flow will continue, but notice the speeds are coming down, 12 to 18 knots, the wave heights also subsiding 3 to 6 feet. And on Thursday for the northwestern islands, light and variable winds once again, high tide 7:43 in the morning, low tide at 1:44 in the afternoon. For the central islands, southeast at 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet, and the southeast islands, winds once again southeast at 12 to 18 knots, and the wave heights 3 to 5. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your travel forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 20 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. When you're living with HIV or human immunodeficiency virus, it's more important than ever to protect your immune system to maintain overall health. By keeping your body as healthy and better equipped to fight off viruses and other types of infections. People living with HIV, the virus that can cause AIDS, should adopt the following healthy habits in their daily lives. Practice safe sex. This is most important. Understand how the virus is transmitted to reduce the risk of infecting others. Use condoms not only to avoid the spread of HIV, but also to protect both you and your partner against other sexually transmitted diseases or STDs and other types of infections. Get tested for other STDs. STDs can worsen HIV and make the disease progress more rapidly. And HIV can make STDs more difficult to treat, so you'll want to address an STD as soon as possible. Prevent infections and illnesses. Since HIV makes your immune system less effective, you become more susceptible to every virus, bacteria, and germ you're exposed to. Wash your hands frequently and stay away from sick people to stay as healthy as possible. Also, stay up to date on all of your vaccinations to reduce your risk of preventable illnesses. Follow your doctor's orders about your prescriptions. It's crucial to take your HIV medication exactly as prescribed by your doctor. Skipping even one day of medication can give the virus an opportunity to become resistant to the drugs, making them ineffective against the virus. Don't abuse drugs or alcohol, quit smoking, exercise mind and body. Physical and mental exercise can keep your mind and body strong. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Catch the Janae's annual back-to-school sale, June 25th through 30th. Get up to 20% off all school items in stock. Yes, all school items. Shirts, jumpers, skirts, boys' long and short pants, school neckties, PE shorts in a variety of colors, character towels, raincoats, and umbrellas. Get up to 75% off wedding and formal wear. Shop early and don't miss out on the Janae's Chesapeake Road big annual back-to-school sale, June 25th through 30th. Beat the rush and save, save. Catch the Janae's annual sale now.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or our 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. After rain hampered the Bahamas Baseball Association's Andrew Rogers Jr. Nationals this past weekend in Grand Bahama, some divisions were not able to get in their championship games. That forced the BBA to hold an emergency meeting last night, and tournament director Shane Aubrey tells us they have come to a decision.
We've consulted with several of our international partners, as well as peruse the rules that we set for our baseball championships. And based on those two things, consultation and the rules that we set, we decided that we will go with the winners of pool play and crown them champions as such. In the event teams did not play each other during pool play, we then went to our rule where the next deciding factor is runs allowed.
So here are the official results. The 8-under goal going to Freedom Farm, silver to JBLN, and bronze to Grand Bahama. JBLN took the 10-under gold, followed by Freedom Farm and Legacy. 12-under winners from Freedom Farm, silver to JBLN and bronze to Grand Bahama. The 16-under, Grand Bahama taking the gold there, JBLN silver, Freedom Farm the bronze. As for the two divisions that were completed, in the 14-under, Freedom Farm beat out Grand Bahama with JBLN taking bronze. As for the 18-under, just two teams there, Grand Bahama winning over JBLN. After being taken #1 overall by the Phoenix Suns in last week's NBA draft, expectations high for Bahamian DeAndre Ayton, but he says he is ready for his rookie season.
I embrace it a lot. Through my career, I will always have that chip on my shoulder. When it comes to expectations, I'm representing the whole nation, and I try to be the best player I can. The only thing I can possibly do is really just help this team start a winning legacy year, and just try to be the best two-way player.
Our men's national basketball team in Puerto Rico headed their FIBA World Cup qualifier later this week against the U.S. Virgin Islands. We got this update from head coach Mario Boleg.
We have had 3 practices thus far. Practice is going well. All of the players are in town. The guys are excited. The players feel good. They feel very, very good about the chemistry that is on the floor. We'll have at least 7 practices in that would allow us to prepare for this game on Thursday against the U.S. Virgin Islands. The coaching staff is also excited and very comfortable and feel very confident on what we have here on the floor before us. The guys knows the challenge that is at hand. They're up for the challenge, and they strongly believe that this is a game that they will win. We can see the confidence in the guys' play. We can see it in the IQ of play on the basketball court. So we're confident that we'll get the job done.
Michael Carey Jr. is one of the players who will suit up for the Bahamas against the Virgin Islands. He, too, is confident.
We have the elite Bahamian guys right now back, and, our guns are loaded pretty much. We got, Buddy coming in. That's a big upgrade. It's all elite guys. We're probably missing Franco Miller Jr. and DeAndre Ayton, but it's all elite Bahamians we have.
Team Bahamas has brought in Chris DeMarco of the NBA champion Golden State Warriors to be on their coaching staff, and he's done his homework.
Watched a video on all of the guys, tried to look at their strengths and weaknesses, and the same for the Virgin Islands, the Dominican Republic going forward. And as Mario said last night, we talked a lot about going in the next game, what we want to do, what it's going to look like for us, and we've kind of kept up that dialogue in the past few weeks too.
To make this trip possible, some assistance was needed, and as Kelsey Johnson tells us, one of the country's mega resorts has stepped up to assist with this and other sports-related ventures.
You've seen some of the top collegiate basketball players from Division I teams in the NCAA hoop it up right here in the Bahamas. Whether it's the Battle for Atlantis or Summer of Thunder, participants can all say they threw it down in paradise. These basketball tournaments were all branded by mega resorts like Atlantis. So why hasn't Bahama taken the assist?
But it's very important that we broaden the base and not replicate and not do some of the same thing. So you may see a battle for golf, or you may see a battle for soccer. Concept may be the same, but broadening the view or the vision in trying just to increase the marketability and the equity of the Bahamas brand abroad, and making this destination a choice for sporting federations of all types to come.
Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard, reiterated the government's position when it comes to expanding sports locally, regionally, and internationally.
We're interested in public-private partnerships, and each of the trips we have taken, inclusive of the most recent trip to New York, we sought to connect with persons who indicated prior to travel that they wanted to have a real discussion about public-private partnerships. That would assist us in building out facilities on those islands where there are none, and to enhance the ones that are in New Providence and in Grand Bahama.
Bahama is the official sponsor of the men's national basketball team that is in Puerto Rico, getting ready for their third round of play in the FIBA Americas World Cup qualifiers.
Some of the things that we have not paid the same level of attention to in the past are drivers for potential business and exposure for this country. And that is particularly the reason why our approach is slightly different in terms of our community commitment, in terms of either sponsorships, etc. going forward.
With the backing of Bahama, Team Bahamas hopes to soar. They play the U.S. Virgin Islands on Thursday. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Total Sports.
While our men are gearing up for competition, our women's national basketball team just finished up their first FIBA Caribbean Cup qualifier. They held their own against much bigger teams like the Dominican Republic in securing that third and final spot in the next round.
The Bahamas was the best team in that matchup with them. Like, if you see the scores, people expected us to get blown. Like, they would bleed out Barbados and stuff by, like, almost 100. We lost by 15. So, like, and even Cuba, like, he was there watching us, that coach from the other team. And I think he was, like, scouting to use, like, what we used to play against them, like, to prepare his team. So that goes to show that, yo, they taken from the Bahamas, like, they wanted to not play Bahamas. So they came to use our strategy against the team they were playing the next day. So we wasn't too far off. So we know what we have to do to win. And we're not really scared. So it's good that we going into something not surprised, but we know who we playing. We didn't get what we wanted, but it's better than nothing. At least we qualified. Some teams finished, but we get to keep moving.
Ashley Moss was one of the players to compete for the Bahamas at the Caribbean Cup qualifier, and while there is still some unfinished business with the national team later in the summer, she also has other opportunities on the horizon.
Oh, I just got done in school in Montreal, Quebec at Concordia University. I'm about to play pro. I'm working on a deal in Spain right now. It's going to be my first year, so I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but I just got to get ready for it.
It's summertime, and the Jeff Rogers basketball camp is back. For more on that, here's Charles Fisher.
The ball started bouncing Monday at the Kendall G. Isaacs gym with a little over 150 youngsters, boys and girls getting in their drills, ages 5 and under to over 15. Quentin Demerd was once where these kids are at now. So far, so good.
The kids are coming in willing to learn. We got a good group. Hopefully more kids coming at the end of the week.
What is being taught at these different levels?
Basketball is like the last thing we teach. It's basically about character, discipline, and how to get through with life activities. Monday, Wednesdays we do skill work. Tuesday, Thursday we do a team type drills.
St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine Guard Carolyn Baptiste is here working on her craft.
We've been working on fundamentals and, just in growing and developing our skills. So it's been fun so far. I came to, continue to develop my shooting skills and, work on defense because defense creates offense.
Savion Larimore attends Redemption Christian Academy in Boston. Hard work pays off in the long run.
I'm just trying to get better offensively, defensively, everything, mental awareness, everything, offensive awareness, just get better at everything.
How has it been so far 2 days?
It's been great, yesterday was light, now today is something different. They're switching it up on me, so I got to adopt faster now.
The camp will run until July 20th from 9 to 1 each day with some of the best instructors in the game. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
We have more tonight from last weekend's B3A Senior National Track and Field Championships at the original Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. In the men's 400-meter hurdles, this one was all about Andre Colebrook. He cruised to the national championship, winning in 50.74 seconds.
I had a good start, stumbled over a few hurdles coming down the backstretch, and then I tried to catch myself on the backstretch and then try to position myself in the race, but my last few hurdles wasn't as good as I wanted it, so I just had to hurry up and finish the race and finish strong.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
What's a smart way to refresh your home this season? Get inspired by Carpet and Cabinet World. See how easy it is to transform your living room and kitchen with our wide variety of flooring and cabinet options. We offer top quality in the latest styles in ceramic, porcelain, and wood. Did you know we're also fully stocked with state-of-the-art forward horizontal blinds? Stop by Cabinet World to explore the exciting possibilities with our customized cabinetry to suit your budget, style, and taste. Carpet and Cabinet World. We make it happen. Get your free quote today.
Little Generals on East Street South is well known for the best quality and lowest prices on all your grocery and houseware needs. Little Generals has a large selection of meats, produce, dairy items, water and juices, all your favorite snacks, housewares, vegan products, gourmet items, and health supplements. Anything you can think of, it's all sold right here at Little General's. Little General's also provides the best customer service, making you want to come back again and again. So visit Little General's today on East Street South. Call 325-5798.
Hank Johnson. Now that Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the family islands, what are your summer vacation plans?
We're going to Neutral.
And there is no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the family islands from Nassau. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the family islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the family islands today.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the tropics remain quiet. We continue to have strong upper-level winds, which created some sharing up there in the upper levels, and that's always good news for us during this time of the year. But on the home front, those mid- and upper-level troughs are finally backing off towards the west for one. The upper-level troughs sinking towards the south, and that will give us a brief break of those heavy downpours, but we'll still have the little odd pop-up shower here and there. And then the rains are expected to return sometime on late Thursday afternoon. Partly cloudy and warm conditions tonight. The low temperature getting down to 77 degrees. Tomorrow, we're looking at intervals of clouds and sunshine, and there will be pockets of showers and isolated thunderstorms, not as heavy as they have been over the past week or so, but we expect those heavy ones, as we said earlier, to return on Thursday. High temperature tomorrow, 89 degrees. Your extended weather forecast over the next 7 days, we're going to keep you near the 90-degree mark during the daytime, and those nighttime temperatures in the upper 70s. Showers are kind of dissipating by Wednesday, and as we said, we'll see them come back on Thursday, and lots of sunshine heading into the weekend. So for those of you who are planning outdoor activities on the weekend, it seems as though you have a good shot at it.
Thanks a lot. Well, before we end, we want to wish a very happy 92nd birthday to Jerlene Jones. Jerlene, that's coming to you from all your family and friends, especially your granddaughter, who's our colleague, DeAndre Williamson. She wants you to know that she will always love and support you. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire team, thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening, Bahamas.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Nation Building. On our program, we examine the political, social, and moral issues in the leadership of the Bahamas. And on our program today, we have another exciting show for you. And we have a member of the opposition party here today, and we'll introduce him to you once we get back from this break.
The concierge service is the best thing ever. Like, it is so fabulous, especially for someone like me where I cannot leave my office, my job, to go do anything in the middle of the day because I'm on the radio. The service was so fabulous. The ladies gave me a call. They set up an appointment. They come with their professional looking attire. They're just so cute. And they come here, and it was a great experience. It took 20 minutes to switch over to the Alive service. It was